Viewer discretion is advised. This film delves into the themes of emotional intimacy, unspoken emotions, and intricate relationships. It is possible that there may be moments of moody tension and vulnerability that are shared by some viewers, which may find themselves intensely emotional. As night slowly settled over the express streets of Seoul, the city came alive in its own quiet, powerful way. Bright lights stretched across the roads, neon signs flickering against the dark sky, while cars moved endlessly, one after another, like rivers of light flowing through the city. People filled the sidewalks, walking past each other without stopping, each one carrying their own story, their own destination, their own world. Voices blended into the air. Footsteps echoed softly. And yet, in the middle of it all, there was someone who didn't quite belong to any of it. Otto walked alone, step by step, calm, steady, almost perfect, like a model walking down a path no one else could see. From the outside, he looked like he had everything under control, composed, quiet, untouched by the chaos around him. But inside, there was something else, a silence that followed him through every street, every step, every night. And tonight was no different. Without hesitation, Otto stepped away from the noise of the street and into the quiet glow of the store. He reached for a basket, almost out of habit, and slowly he moved deeper inside, following a routine he knew too well. One step at a time, he reached for the things he needed: a simple pack of noodles, a small bottle of Korean alcohol, and the baby oil. One by one, he placed them into the basket, like it was something he had done many times before. With everything in his hands, Otto made his way to the counter. He stood quietly, placing the items down, waiting. Around him, people came and went, entering, leaving. Without a second glance, the cashier began scanning each item, the soft beeps filling the silence. Otto looked up briefly, then lowered his gaze again, saying nothing. When asked, he handed over his ATM card and waited. Moments later, the bag was returned to him. And just like that, he turned and walked away. Stepping out of the store, Otto moved quietly toward the bus stop, the night air brushing against him as he walked. He sat down slowly, placing the bag on the ground beside him, stretching his body slightly, the tiredness finally catching up to him. His eyes wandered, looking around, as if searching for something, or maybe nothing at all. After a moment, he reached down, picking up the bag again, placing it beside him on the chair, and once more, he looked out toward the road, waiting for the bus to come. Jin stepped out of his company elevator, moving with quiet authority, every step steady, every motion composed. Like a man used to control, he walked toward his luxurious car, the night reflecting faintly on its polished surface. As the world around him kept moving without pause, Tony, his driver and trusted companion, opened the door for him without a word, a familiar routine between them. Jin entered smoothly, and the door closed behind him, sealing him away from the outside world. Moments later, the engine started, and the car began to move, slowly at first, then steadily through the night. On the express road, the vehicle gained speed, gliding through the city, lights that blurred into streaks of gold and red. Inside the car, silence filled the space. Tony focused on the road, his eyes heavy with fatigue, yet still alert enough to drive safely through the night. Jen sat at the back, relaxed, but clearly tired as well, his body leaning slightly into the seat. The long day finally catching up to him. Neither of them spoke much. Only the hum of the engine and the passing city filled the air. Then, in that quiet moment, Jin's mind drifted. A face appeared in his thoughts. Otto. For a brief second, his expression softened, a small, almost unnoticeable smile forming on his lips. But just as quickly, he caught himself. He straightened slightly, his face returning to calm control, the smile disappearing as if it never existed. His eyes shifted away, composed once again, as though nothing had happened, because some thoughts were not meant to be seen or explained. Otto rushed toward the bus, stepping inside quickly as the doors closed behind him. Moments later, he stepped out again and began walking the familiar path home. Alone in the quiet night, he moved through the corridor of his apartment building, each step bringing him closer to his small space, his own world. At his door, he entered his password, and with a soft click, the door unlocked. Opening into his room, inside Otto moved quietly through his routine. He stepped out of the bathroom, a towel wrapped around his waist, another in his hand, gently drying his damp hair as he walked. Without rushing, he changed, letting the silence of the room settle around him. In the kitchen, he boiled water for the noodles he had bought earlier. He placed the noodles into the pot, adding the simple ingredients, stirring slowly as steam rose into the air. Carefully, he lifted the pot and brought it to the table, following the familiar Korean style of eating. For a moment, he paused. A small smile appeared on his face as he sat down and began to eat. Jin sat at his luxurious dining table, eating calmly, relaxed, and completely at ease. Behind him, his chef stood quietly, watching with a soft smile. As Jin enjoyed his meal without pressure or rush, he lifted a glass of expensive wine, taking a slow sip, as the room remained quiet and refined. Later, Jin lay on his large, expensive bed, the room dimly lit, the silence wrapping around him. He scrolled through Instagram, passing through familiar images, until he stopped. Otto. The moment he saw the pictures, something changed in him. A soft blush appeared on his face, followed by a smile he couldn't hide. He placed a hand gently on his chest, as if trying to calm the sudden feeling rising inside him. Then almost instinctively, he smiled again, softer this time, more genuine, and in the quiet of his room, he sent silent kisses into the air toward Otto's image, as if he could reach him through the screen. But outside that moment, everything remained silent, and Jin lay there, caught between control and something he was slowly beginning to feel. As night deepened, Otto lay still, the quiet around him heavy with loneliness. This was his private escape, the only way he knew to ease the ache inside. He reached for the baby oil, searching for comfort, for something more he couldn't name. In that moment, he wasn't just alone. He was hiding a part of himself no one knew. With a slow breath, he let go, just for the night, and as the screen faded, Otto closed his eyes, carrying his secret into tomorrow.